Hello. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Elias Munsha. Good evening, Zambia. Here we are about 12:48 in the afternoon, and I believe that in Zambia it must be around almost 22 hours. So I'm going to have a chat with anybody who is awake. So if you are not awake, you are going to miss out, but you probably can catch my broadcast at a later stage. My name is Elias Munsha, and I'm coming to you live from Calgary, Alberta, in my home office. I'm not at the office today because it's weekend, so I'm in my home office. So share with as many people as possible. Today is going to be a very interesting discussion because we're going to make it a little bit freestyle. Freestyle of some sort, and then I'm going to use a lot of Bemba today, so please prepare yourselves for that. But maybe we should just do away with Bemba and all these Ushi languages. We just stick to English anyway. This is going to be quite interesting. Now, grade 12 results. Zambia has released grade 12 results. Now, I shouldn't be shouting because when I'm shouting, you're going to think that, like, there is something wrong. So, Zambia has released grade 12 results. Okay. So, what happens is in Zambia, when they're releasing grade 12 results, Zambia Omubotu. Alex Xavier is asking me to use Tonga. Of course, Zambia or Mubotu, Tonse tuswangane. Tonse tuswangane. Mubotu. Twalumba kabotu. I like Tonga. Anyway, so Zambia has grade 12 exams. I wrote mine many years ago, almost 2 decades ago. I wrote mine in Chingola, at Chingola High School. That's where I did my grade 12. They were good results. They were good results. Anyway, it was Division 1. Okay, that's all I can say. It was Division 1. I did mine at Chingola High School. Now, there is this issue of high schools and naming of schools in Zambia. At one time, all secondary schools became high schools because I think Chiluba's government wanted to turn all primary schools into basic schools because the basic education was the in thing at that time. So all primary schools became basic schools, and so secondary schools became high schools. That's when my school, Chingola Secondary School, became Chingola High School. I think we were the first generation that became Chingola High School. So I wrote mine in 1996. I've forgotten when. When was our intake? When was my intake at Chingola Secondary School? Yeah, so I think 96. So that's when I wrote my exams in 1996. The Ministry of Education in Zambia has this system of publishing results by province. Okay. I don't know why they do it, but they do it because they want to see which province is lagging behind, what can be done to make provinces improve, what are the percentages. This helps the Ministry of Education in its planning. One, very important, in its planning. Where are the resources and lessons that they can learn, right? And so they publish the results and percentages by province. For a very long time, Copperbelt and Lusaka have been leading provinces in grade 12. The reason is, of course, maybe better teachers, better access to the most educated population. There are several other reasons why Lusaka and Copperbelt were for many years top in grade 12 results. And so these are important statistics. And these statistics help the government to govern, because if you do not have information, you can't govern. If you don't have information, you can't change anything. So you need statistics. For example, if there is a problem pamutenge na mwali kulenganda kuchwempala elo pamutenge infula ngayalo ke infula fireswa, what you do is kunina pamutenge mwayalo lesha bushe umutenge ulishani kamwasango ko batikuliko kakona kamo uko takali wino. What do you do? epo mwaya chisashani mwaya menda po pakweba ati next rainy season next rainy season ngayaloka emfula ikachitashani ikachita penetrate, so you go mwanina pomtenge mwayamona ni pesa apo efintu filubeni mwachitashani mwabikapo mwamendapo chira mwamendapo, it means in the next coming rainy season the entire house will be good. That's what we used to do, you know. Amayanda ya cancel nakuma ikulire nangu mayanda yenu mwayikulira mwebene. That's how you deal with things. That's how you govern a nation. And so statistics are important for education. The reason is you want to see how many people sat for the exams, how many have got school certificates. It's very important. When you go to the provinces, you look at the provinces. Which province performed better and which province did not perform better? Statistics, very important. Because when you do that, you are governing and you want to direct resources. Education. When it comes to health, the same story. When it comes to health, nurses are the ones who are on the ground and doctors. But there is more to health provision than just nurses and doctors. In health also, you have got statistics. What are those statistics for? They are for you to know how you can deliver health to the population. For example, there are some diseases that are much more prevalent in one particular area. In order for you to help that population, you need to send resources to that area. That is the role of information and statistics. That is what happens when you are trying to govern a country, to channel resources. You want to know where the problems are and how you can direct your resources to resolving those problems. Okay, let's talk about maternal health. Where in a particular area, what happens, which province, which district, which area has more maternity, has low maternity rates, and which one has high maternity rates, where is high maternity mortality rates, meaning where are we losing more mothers in childbirth? Where do we have better outcomes? What interventions can we make in health? Those are known as statistics. Okay? The reason if abantu beera ku masukulu tekuyefe mukukumbwa esukulu n'okukumbwa ba teacher. Okukumbwa efe ba teacher bamoneka nga bafuala amaglasi. Bantu bambi balaya ku sukulu. Instead ya kuchita concentrate on learning, balaye kumbwa amaglasi ya ba teacher. So fira kitafya ingiriro okufya fumino, they come back, they have no info, they can't act on anything. Ambe esukulu efe lyabeerako. But if you want to deliver health to a population, what is happening? How can we help our people? What is happening? Very important. The other thing is culture. Culture has impact on both education and culture has impact on health. Culture has impact on the well-being of the people. Even diseases. Culture has impact. What about nutrition? Nutrition does not just mean about okulya wino. You know, okulya wino. It's not just about okulya wino. Nutrition is what do we eat? How balanced is what we are eating? That is nutrition. Okay? So tekulya wino, because when I was growing up in Chwempala, okulya wino ngamuledi yenama. Ero baneba. Bale tobero musalo. Nishi bale baneba bale chashani bale chula. Imumwe bale yenama nishi muleikala wino. That was the concept. Okay? But as far as health is concerned, in fact, they might have better health outcomes than So, in nutrition, you look at all those factors. Okay? What about culture? Culture also has impact on the people. What is culture? Culture is just the way of life. A nation has its culture. A district has its culture. A compound has its culture. A province has its culture. If you want to help a province, sometimes you might use different strategies from another province, different strategy. Okay? In Chwempala, let me give you an example. In Chwempala, kumaikodile, ni mpepi kumaikodile na kuchabanyama, kwa liko a small location, iyo tuwale itati, mwa amulo, na mumakonta. One thing that used to surprise me about mumakonta na mwa amlo, where the way the houses were organized, first of all, and the lack of access to things like toilets and water. We bonse tuwali kumaikodile, but mumakonta na mwa amlo, there was definitely something wrong there. Okay? What was the issue with Mwa Amlo? Mwebena Chingola, you can agree with me. What was the issue with Mwa Amlo? Was it the nature of the people that lived there? Was it government neglect? Was it... What was happening? What is happening now? Has there been any changes? So it used to surprise me. Something is wrong, right? Very important. That is how you build a nation. So you look at what is going on, you look at the information, you gather the data, and then you begin acting on the data. Culture. The other thing that, in terms of culture, is some of you young ones, 90s, you do not understand the impact of the HIV/AIDS on our population. Malaria. Malaria ni AIDS you understand that? So, AIDS was a very big issue during the 90s. Some of you were 27 years old. That was the issue that we were struggling with. I was just like a 21 or 22-year-old pastor. Every week, kulusaka. Tualeshika umuntu uafwa with AIDS. Not if you're not kwatanama ARVs abantu balepsuka. So we needed to look at cultural practices. Okay, how can we help our population? Because some of it was cultural. For example, ugupiana, sexual cleansing. All right. Now, sexual cleansing, it's a cultural practice. There are some regions in Zambia that practice it more than the others. Okay? So if you are a health practitioner, if you are a country, you are a pastor, you want to have some intervention in terms of changing some sexual practices, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the culture, study the culture of sexual cleansing. Ushis, Narambi, Mitundu Nashimbisha Kuluapula. It was very prevalent. Nabalala, sexual cleansing. What sexual cleansing means for you young ones. What is sexual cleansing? Sexual cleansing is two people are married. It's men. A man dies. In order for the widow to be released from the marriage covenant under traditions, the widow was supposed to sleep with either a brother of the man's family. It was the man's family who chooses. It used to be called sexual cleansing. As a country, we sat together and thought there was something wrong with this. Women organizations, the government itself said, no, we need to intervene, because if the disease has died of AIDS, what it means is whether mukalamba wako nangumuwaiche wamulume ufuire ayin nga wayalala na mukamfuirwa nish na yo wala chitashani walambula. So instead of preventing HIV/AIDS number, you are using culture to do what? To spread the disease. So our nation, our leaders intervened. Okuya number kuma traditional leaders alenibane twebene. What is it about sexual cleansing? No, it's not a must. Actually, ukubomfyefyo tubunga mwasa muchita smear mukamfuirwa mwamweba kono otumashuitu mwat nomba twako chita release. They are enough. Oh, so just a word can help everybody. Yes, it's just a word. That's how now that cultural practice started changing. Again, sometimes it's a particular region, a particular tribe, or a particular district. Our nation abandoning some of those practices have helped our country a lot. Too much. Now, how did we come to know about that? We studied cultures. We studied provinces. We saw Emitundu Shimo, tribes that were practicing those things a lot. And so we said, no, we needed to do what? We needed to bring up some intervention. That is what happens. Ekuteka, to look at things in that way. Now, you shouldn't you shouldn't look at that and say, therefore this study is too much negative, or these statistics are not. No, statistics don't lie. They are what they are. Okay. So there is another statistic in terms of stunted growth. Okay. So according to the World Health Organization, a child is stunted if at a particular age they are of a height that is below the World Health Organization standards. That is what it means when they say the person is stunted, which means under 5. If you're under 5. So those forms, under 5, mule track height ya mwana under 5. If you're track height ya mwana, it's because they are trying to get statistics for a nation to be healthy. In this country, what is the average height? In this country, if you want to add below a certain acceptable height, it means then that they are performing poorly. What can we do? Is it cultural practices? You understand that? That's why all these interventions like ngamule pikiromwana porridge, muimupera fe porridge yeka yeka, biken mwenshi mbalala. All those were interventions that were done. Okay? They say you don't have to have a lot of money in order for a population to improve its health outcomes. Even ife porridge ya mugaiwa mbanga, kubika mufyenshi mbalala, mwaipika umwana balata mbogo kola bwino. That is what it means. So, the Minister of Education released a list of performance of grade 12 results. That list has 10 provinces. Okay? 10 provinces. Southern province is top. Southern province is top. Then the 2 bottom provinces are Luapula and Muchinga. At least even for Bena Luapula, na to change Bena Muchinga. We are 9. We are 9. So we are 9. Southern province is top with about over 70% pass rate. Luapula province is at, is it 58 or 56% pass rate of grade 12. I took those statistics from the Minister of Education. I compared 2 provinces. My own home province, our ancestral home province of Luapula, against Southern province, which was top this year. And I posted it on my page. Guess what? People that have no business, people that you know, language I want to be as respectful as possible. People that have no idea about ideas, they started insulting me that I am a tribalist. I used my own province of Luapula, and I compared it with Southern province, which was the top, at the top of grade 12 results. Luapula is number 9. I used Luapula because that's where I come from. I care extremely deeply about Luapula province, about Milenge, and I've not hidden it from you. ati kumushumweso ni kumirenge nshamyeba nali mifisa bambi mwena kumushumwenu tatuwaishiba tugesa fie mumano limo tugesa ine nali mieba kumushumweso ni kumirenge gamuhaya kumirenge na baburulu wande mukabasanga. My own brother lives in Milenge. My own brother, same mother, same father. He works for Milenge District Council. Our family is right there in Milenge. That's where I come from. This time I visited in November, I went to Milenge. Naria gwatako lunch kumirenge. I did not spend a lot of time in Milenge, but narita andalako ekwesu. So I was comparing Milenge Luapula performance against Southern Province. And I was, of course, congratulating Southern Province, but nakajelas, of course, emokadi. Why should Luapula, be at the bottom? Okay, so I posted it. Southern Province was excited. People from Southern Province, they were like, yes, this is wonderful. We know what Tasha forever bombesha kulu Southern Province. Now then Luapula banandi na bobene bebere munsha. What you have highlighted here is very important. To improve. How can we improve as Luapula? But what na ifwe tukachitashani na ifwe tukapaseko top tukachitashani. Though that's the debate. Abena Luapula banandi we're extremely happy. Bambi bamba nokulandondo lokwe obwafye buliko buloshi. Bambi bebere yo obwafye buliko tatoposa kwa bano ku school. Bambi bebere obwafye buliko its nutrition. Bambi bebere sha njebere bane. We need to look at this. Southern Province njebere to fuire Southern Province ifuire ya tulanga the secret to passing. I'm not ashamed. Why would I be ashamed? We want to learn the best practices from Southern. But we be kona ifo na Luapula poko but next year na ifo tukafume number 1. That's what I was saying. And I'm not ashamed to do that. This is one Zambia, one nation. The reason why we are one Zambia, one nation is so that we can praise provinces that do well, that do better. No kubatemwa, no kubatasha, no kubalumba, okulumba abantu abalechita wino. That's what it means to be one Zambia, one nation. One Zambia, one nation. Tekuya tarika. Southern Province has topped the 10 provinces in Zambia. Elo mwaya tarika. No, it's one Zambia, one nation. Mwelaume. What kind of mentality is that? Southern Province has 70% pass rate. No, but why should nishtet mutashishe? Nishtet mulumbire? Why? On my walk, Southern Province has done extremely well. Luapula nayo at 9. We must learn something from Southern Province. But if we do what we do better, what is tribalist about that? No, some people that do not even come from Luapula, they started accusing me of being a tribalist. And I told you, if you want to compare Eastern Province to Western, go ahead. If you want to compare Muchinga to another province, go ahead. I compared Luapula against the top performing province, which is Southern Province. How does that become tribalistic? It is you who are tribalistic when you fail to congratulate a province that has beaten all the other 10 provinces in Zambia. It is you who are tribalist. What I'm trying to learn is, Ushe, how has Southern Province managed 70%? If Luapula is at 54%, what is the cause? Is it cultural? Bushemano fetatuagwat. You know, Luapula, of course, punches above its weight in terms of even this current government. It has a lot of Luapulans, this current government. Parastatos, a lot of Luapulans. Even Abandwa Mulomo and talkative people, all from Luapula, you know, so we have no problem in that regard. No, but what happened with the grade 12? Those are kind of things that I talk about. I love Zambia. I love every Zambian equally. You know, I love cultures. That's what it means. Today I was asking about what does Kawale song say? Because tuareimba Kawale nga tureimba kuchingwa tuareimba ate Kawale na tobe window. I thought, no, I cannot be singing Ulwimbo Wamuchiri Luchazi at Kawale na tobe window. I went to my and I asked, Aleni banenje veniko, Vagajinyama, Munjebeko. How do we sing Kawale? Well, it's not even Kawale, it's Kawalye. Nama yo wendo, or something like that. So I've learned something today about our nation. That is what it means to build a nation together. Not ukuchita erase vamwati yo mkoa imwe it's one Zambia one nation ngavachita wino one Zambia one nation but ngavavota atiyo nimwe bomuvota fye one part. No, you love everybody. That is what it means. You respect everybody. Tekuya mkweva abantu ati yo imwe you are not you are not important imwe. The reason why Southern Province has performed very well is because other people from Mano. That's what some people say. There are some people from other provinces that made Southern Province perform better. So these are some of the issues. We need to be serious about some of these things. We shouldn't be rushing towards calling people tribalist. Ndimwaushi na posta comparison between Luapula na Southern Province. Mweba kumuchinga na Northern. You have no business with Luapula. At yo mkwa nishu. At why did you choose Luapula? Walefu wanchite choose inshi Muchinga. If you want to choose Muchinga, choose Muchinga. Chapwa. If you want Northern, just choose Northern and be happy about it. Do not come and tell me that I shouldn't have compared Luapula. Why not? Why not? Why shouldn't I have compared Luapula against Southern Province? So congratulations again to Southern Province. But as I'm congratulating you, please know that Luapula is coming because Luapula is going to learn some of the things that causes Southern Province to always be number one. No. Luapula is also learning very, very clearly. Southern Province, Ichitashan. Amano. Turei bako amano na ifwe. But next election, next examination, Luapula will be top. So what can we do, fellow Luapulans? Newton Chanda Dvayama Morishani, Yasuke Nidelo. Ni finish nde asuka. Now what the question? Goodbye, Elias Mushimak Geo Chuluba. But Trisha K at that laughter. How Monday it's serious? Na bantuka. Kuba kumuchinga na Northern ukuntuka ine. And these Muchinga Northern people are bara tutuka ifwati batuburu bara tutuka. So number why should I not compare my province with the best? Should I compare Luapula with what? With Northern? Allah. Umuboto, it's hardworking and intelligent. That's a fact. Is that what happened? Luapula wants to be there as well. Lovias Kabaso, please just use English. Yes. And I think I've used a lot of English today, right? I failed maths, but passed additional maths. Tell me more, Vasilavo. So you failed math and passed additional mathematics. That sounds like very difficult to do. I wasn't too good at math, but I passed it. So anyway. Agnes Mumba Wilkins, statistics are very important, but they do not tell the full story. Which pupils are not performing within a particular province? Figures alone simplify the problem. Okay, that's understandable. Lovies Tavaya Sukila. Yes, tonight is one topic. I know there are several other topics. Again, to learn about one thing. Do you think that practice was barbaric? Which practice, Mwape Mwanza? Sexual cleansing? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know whether it was barbaric or not. All I know is it wasn't too good for health outcomes. So we needed to change that. In Muchinga, abana baraya ku fishimu and neglect school. It's very sad. So what can we do about that, right? If abana baraya ku fishimu, what can we do? Because we also need economic means. What can we do? Is there any way of telling parents to say, no, just let children go to school? From my own upbringing, obviously, yes, we used to have Salaula stands in Chiwempala. And if there is no worker working, was there a temptation that I could go and sell? Ukusampuisha, ukupishamo, walking, hawking along the streets. Nishna usendama if you're a Salaula. And then you go door to door, so what are the impact of economic activities on education? All those are important factors to think about. Is Southern Province consistently performing? Because why? Is it curtailed? Don't children go into economic activities in Southern Province? They do, of course. Herding cattle and taking care of family farms or something like that. Okay. How does that then explain the disparity between Southern Province and Eastern Province? Because both of these provinces are cattle herders. How does that explain the relatively good performance of Western Province? So all those are important questions that we need to ask. Ati muimbona ukukashikate mu Europe nafyarirwe nshabanga abana bano abashayiji boko bafuma kampamba mwandi utubano utunono okuntoka ina that I'm being tribalist. I can't take that. And even there and vendetta shanded, I'm just congratulating Southern Province for the job well done. Babomba. It's not easy. 70% pass rate. Southern Province has many schools, and I personally attended my high school from there, but originally from Luapula via Copper Belt. If other provinces had better schools, they would equally perform better, with exceptions of Lusaka and CB. Of course, that's a reasonable explanation. So how do you then explain Southern Province beating Copper Belt and Lusaka? In terms of percentages. Yeah. Let's also explore and develop non-academic exploits in arts and artisanal work. That's a very, very important observation. And as far as culture is concerned, we need to begin consuming culture, right? We need to begin consuming culture. We are not consuming it anymore. Of course, after the olden days of the Kalindula music and cultural music, I think we went down. Now there is a little bit revival of cultural, even traditional ceremonies, very important ways. But we need to be consumers of our cultures. Very important. We need to be consumers of our cultures. Artisanal work, also quite important. Trades. Yeah, if anything, we need to also focus on trades. But there is very little investment in education generally at the moment. For example, I'm political. I always look at things from a political perspective. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's how I don't know. That's how I look at everything. This government, for example, has spent billions on guns and bullets and armored vehicles for police, and they've not spent as much on education or health. You see? So we are always talking about all these outcomes, but we are not really investing much. Southern Province has good schools and people are serious about school compared to my province in Luapula. Nkaka, yeah. I'm hearing that from fellow Luapulans who are saying that they're a little bit concerned at the general attitude to education in Luapula. So what can we do? Can government look at it much more, we have a minister of Luapula province who's been working extremely hard in terms of economic investments, but maybe they need to also focus on school performance, what is really going on, right? The more you hate people, the more God keep blessing them. People in southern province are relatively wealthy and can afford to support the education of their children. They're engaged in livestock. Okay. Is that empirically confirmed that people in southern province are relatively wealthier than others? Like, is southern province wealthier than Luapula? Yeah, I think there is a reason to say that. And so what you're saying is they can easily invest in education far much more effectively than Luapulans can. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Simbaya Webi says, let's improve strategy teaching in Muchinga. Okay, yeah, because Muchinga is at the bottom. Imagine, even Luapula is on top. Muchinga is right at the bottom in grade 12 results this year. Pretty sad. So, imomwebe na Muchinga. Learn from us, Luapula, to him. So, Muchinga, instead of you calling me names, imomwebe na Muchinga, learn from us as Luapula, because at least if you to number 9, Luapula, number 9, Muchinga, number 10. So, you need to learn from all those that are on top. So you need to learn from strategies from Luapula, whatever has been working for us. Yeah. Proud Ushi Musamba Mumba Kabira Vena Luapula, you pride yourselves move changes. There is my fellow Ushi sister right there. At for Vena Luapula to start invest move changes. And we are not investing much in education. I am some. Yeah, Arabwafia. I think nako kene nika reason mwe. I think nako kene nako. I think nako nika reason. Nako eba tu kuchitafe Facebook changes fie, No, it's time invest in a moving to. Because when you look at the corner, the Luapula Northern Muchinga corner, area corner, right now in this government, it is full of those people. It is full of us, full of Luapula, Northern Muchinga, Iliaso. So this government is actually ours in many ways. It's a very tribally inclined government and very slanted towards the north. So, but you ask yourself the question, if that is the case, why isn't that translating into some investment in Luapula, into tangible, not things like at Natuisula tea factory, but what about educational things, But Proud Musamba says that Luapulans invest too much mugu changeshi, no kulanda no mulomo na pakanwa. Now, if it's our tradition and culture, mama, kulanda, umuntu tete refie na wewine Musamba na walichita invest mukulandaranda. A lot of research fields in Zambia. Please welcome us Zambians and do the research. Yeah. No, there's been several research, and with the coming of so many universities, researches have been done, customary marriages, impact of traditional practice on health, sexual cleansing. I think in the 90s and early 2000s, quite a lot of focus on those studies of sexual cleansing and, changing of attitudes towards that. And I think it has worked very well. Cleanse the sexual cleansing. But what are you talking about? Mwalanda kono tumoto tutsakira kona amato tubunga muchita smear mukamfuirwa kabie uyo upwe kukumbi chap ilia covenant ya lipo between you na bululu wesu yapwa akale kitakwali hivyo akale kanofye brother alale na mukamfuirwa nangu tuipwa na inendi muipwa ero nalikwata nabepwa so takuli not anymore so amayama chilifya bwino takwakaba obwafya iyo nga mwafuatiyo munsha omwipwa kesa chitefi no nkabula vyotubunga yama mwamva ngabula vyotubunga nka njibere nomba bamukayama mulifye bwino that's it na imumwe tubepwa noti mukaleta omulomo ati yo mukwayi mwayisa mukupiana takuli yeah chankalipa okuchirwa na kufina chipata chankalipa okuchirwa na kufina chipata nshomfuire iwe mutuka yanik eyo wachira ntuka iwe yanik wayo kuntu iwe wachira ntuka pantu mwandi njishiwe limbini yanikumbi but iwe na iwe yanikirishine na chirimona chibiri why would somebody from nowhere shikulufyenye ndandirefya about Luapula and Southern Province iwe BP yanina BP yakwera Bakwet, what is the solution for Northerners? Bako patop. I'm just bringing questions. I think we need to go and learn from Southern. So imobonze kanisha muka kuke amaskuru muka yeku Southern Province. Muka yeku Southern Province kumaskuru. Panto maskuru yak Northern, they are not performing. So kanshi, it's one Zambia, one nation. So Southern Province, prepare yourself. So the influx of your fellow Zambians. At why are they coming to our province? At they are running away from Mukupona in Luapula. In Luapula schools to Apona Pafula, Tulefa Naifwe, to Paseko, Kukalomo. So we are coming to Kalomo and Choma. Muka to pokerere. Muka to pokerere bueno at nish to abu to kid up from Mans and Mirenge at you to refu Pasako. One thing will come and learn. Muka tufundeko how you are passing. Muka tuwebe ko tuma manners tumoto. I know what you tell us at mureko mulomo, mureke pakanwa sano kulando kuyipikirisha po ifintu nefe tawishi pakanwa sano mulomo. Ai nefe muka tuweba. It's true. What about Mabisi, for example? In one of the posts I said Mabisi, and I'm very serious. Because Luapula, we are even performing poorly in terms of stunted growth. Those are statistics. That's not something that somebody makes up. Those are statistics, health statistics. But we Luapulans, we are leading in Zambia in terms of stunted growths. And what is stunted growth? It means we are falling behind the average of our area, behind the average of Zambia. So we are below average in terms of stunted growths. 2 years ago, we were at 46%. Southern Province was at 29%. So you need to ask yourself, what leads to 46% in stunted growth? 45%. Muchinga, I think, was 46. Was it Northern? Northern 46, Luapula 45% stunted growth. You know, those are some of the questions that a government needs to attend to. Is it cultural? Is it our food? If it's our food, would it make a difference if we, for example, we became cattle herders as well? Is the outcome in Southern Province different because of Mabisi and milk from the cattle that they produce? You know, those are questions that you ask. Would it make a difference if Luapulans also became cattle herders? I'm told there are some NGOs that are trying to introduce that in Luapula province, but we will see. But somebody loves to go back to Luapula, you know, because it's chimana chirife, you know. So in that regard, then mentality here Fintuni Wangu is very live because kuti wanayo bwali ulaipika bwali wayafe muchimana waya dola momunani waipika wadya ngata ukoite mpie shako ya mukunwina kuyafe waya muchimana wachita waloba abashira waloba esabe wayashitisha waya mukunwa. So could that have an impact on our health outcomes? I don't know. Okay, those are some of the questions. If it's diet, how can we change? Maybe groundnuts, maybe I don't know. You see, because the other thing is Luapula is also leading in terms of fertility. Yeah, so Luapula in Zambia, Luapula leads in fertility. A few years ago, we were at average of 6.1 children per woman. You know what that means? 6.1 children per woman in Luapula. Okay, far higher than other provinces. Okay, so for a province that has got 6.1 fertility rate and is a leading in stunted growth at 45% and is at 9th place in terms of grade 12 results, there are several other measures. What is really happening? And yet it's overrepresented in leadership. You see? You take all these things for granted, but yes, Luapula is overrepresented, right? So you ask yourself, what is going on? How can we improve health outcomes? Joel Hart, yes, 6.1 children per woman, fertility rate in Luapula. I don't know how they come up with this, but yes. To replace a population, you need what? 2.1? 2.1 or 2.3? Yeah. So Canada's rate is 1.9. So at the rate we are going in Canada, replacement is pretty tough. But Luapula, look at that, 6.1. Salo, this is a good discussion with no trace of tribalism at all. Numbers don't lie, but can help us identify problems. In 2017, Southern Province was the lowest, and among causes was that school-going children were being forced into agricultural activities and early marriages. 4 years later, they are the best. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we need to attend to. How did Southern Province, in 4 years, move from bottom of the table to top, of the league? It's like Premier League, eh? How did Manchester City, or is it Manchester United, move from being bottom to being number 3? While Arsenal, which was top, Arsenal, which was top, now it's Pakati. We need to look at that. Is it the players? Were we marrying of players too early? Were we, all those? That's what it means. Yeah, Muchinga, schools are lacking lab teachers and everything, but the government, of course, is investing in bullets. Saka education at how they are, I'm writing my SATs. What are SATs? Okay. Thank you very much for listening to my rant today. Thank you. Okay. God bless. And God bless our country.